So beautiful. Humans. I felt the nudge to record this morning, so we are here. I am getting ready to upload a transmission from yesterday. It was quite beautiful. It did cut off about 14 minutes in, um, but I think primarily we got the gist of the idea. Um, the parts that I can remember were the eyes to see and the ears to hear. And so, if you really listen to the inner guidance and you can distinguish between an old version or a comfort zone versus something that is really inspiring. And so, um, we're talking about self-willed versus divine-willed and choosing the divine will, which is always our highest trajectory. And so if you've been confused about what this divine will is, it's not perfectionism, it's not being spotless, it's not being anything but authentically you. But being authentically you also means that you are 100% truthful with yourself and you are honest and open, 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 open. That was a difficult part for me. It's to be that open because being open for me meant being vulnerable, and being vulnerable meant I was more susceptible to injury or being hurt or being attacked. And so it really took me kind of going into those places, spaces, and honoring that truth with love and reminding myself and remembering that we're safe, we are whole, we are loved, we are protected, we are guarded beyond all imagination. We are truly blessed to be a blessing, and we're here and alive to talk about it. So when we say divine will, if you can think about everything that you've ever been through and all of your wildest dreams, but even the parts of you that it's like way in the back of your mind, but you don't think you'll ever have enough bravery or courage, or there'll never be enough money, like all the excuses that we tell ourselves to not take action. Um, those dreams, those like wild, you're here for a purpose, you're here for a mission, that there is something far beyond you that is calling you to be all of you and to be the most expansive version of yourself. That's the divine will. And then when you are it, you're like, why did I ever slow myself down? Why would I have ever questioned any of this? However, I understand that the old patterns, the old programs will put a lot of limited beliefs, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of self-destruction, a lot of really just kind of throwing throwing trip zones into your world. And every trip zone is a space of learning. However, I can just speak honestly where some places instead of just saying, okay, I don't need to be stubborn through this one, let me learn and be open through this one. Even when it got to the harder lessons, I can still say that sometimes I just chose to learn the hard way. And that is the beauty of thy will be done, is we're learning as we grow and we're learning through every experience. And so, a beautiful message is it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what you've been through. And it doesn't matter what your story is right now. That can miraculously change in, I mean, a moment's notice. You step into a space and you hear the nudge to ask. I'll share an example. I had a friend who has a friend. She wanted me to meet her friend. And so the lady had suggested a place for us to go. And we sat there. And it was supposed to open at 2. Nobody was there. And I thought, well, let's call. We're here. Let's call. And I said, in my mind is we're here for a reason. And her and I were just chit chatting back and forth. And so we called the owner of the art gallery, and she said, yeah, I'm just running a little bit late. I'll be there. And so she got there, and she was talking about she needed a couple more art pieces in the gallery. And the old version of me would have felt, don't overstep. Don't ask. Who are you to ask a complete stranger or a gallery owner to have your art pieces in there? But I also heard the nudge, ask, like, go. And so I did. And then I didn't even really have a split second to think of what's the worst or best that could happen. And she said yes. And so I've had my art pieces now in an art gallery showing for almost over a year. And I'm honored and grateful that every piece has been selected for the show. But it's just little things like that where would I have ever thought, one, by honoring myself and expressing my truth through my art and through my writing would ever make a real impact on people, I don't know that I thought I had the capability of doing that. Two, did I ever think that I would be now working on a solo show, a deep immersive solo show? Not in a million years. Three, um, did I ever think that my pain, this was the truth of it. Did I ever think alchemizing my pain and allowing myself to sit in the deepest wounds of myself and getting them on canvas or getting them into writing would ever have such a profound impact on not only my life, but the life around me? Um, I can't say that I didn't think it was possible, but I can say that I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it, so I limited myself. But then once I stopped thinking those things, really, I'm like, hey, let's just figure it out as we go and as we grow and as we glow. We're going to figure it out. It's all going to be delivered to us. It's going to work out effortlessly when we allow, and it has. And so many other things have transpired because of that, but it really is just allowing life to life and saying yes. And so, I don't quite know the purpose of this video, and maybe it was just to speak those words and to believe in yourself, believe in your mission, believe in your purpose, believe in your heart, believe in your soul connection, believe in the faith and the hope that it takes to put yourself out there and to try something new and to keep doing it when it might not make any sense to anybody else. Yeah. Akureanya kurotosiana pokrayana kara aratisiana o akramia keradosiana karatiana kerebotosiana. I'm seeing a door with just an orb, beautiful orb of light. Like we're walking through, we're breathing new, we are allowing and opening to life. Yeah, keramokirata sikirata la mokiakara. O ayana ko atarasiana makiara wo yana akoroahiana akyana o karasia ala kiara mokara tati siritia karo kurukumarikia ukurumokai kenara kiara karikitisiana akaro fogiara nake marakitisiana ayana karatiasana mokurota dia kara kretisiana tiara wakira ayana karasia tiara wana. These frequencies are so high, and it feels like if you had a pinball machine and the pinball is just kind of going crazy, but it's just pinging all of these little light beam radiances in your body, and they're all lighting up all at once, and it's so immaculate, overjoyous. I had spoke the other day that I'm like, man, what is higher than joy? But it's so magical. It's just it's like magic and blessings abound, reign supreme. It is like that is the living space that we're in. And that's why the work is so important, because to be in this space, you will wonder why you ever put the truth on the back burner. Why? Because it's so real and it's so beautiful. So eyes to see and ears to hear. And so when you see in the external world, when you see something that's like, wait a minute, that's out of place, or that doesn't belong here, or that's unusual, or that is different, take a moment, take 30 seconds, but take 10 seconds if you can, and just say, okay, my beautiful soul, what message are you trying to deliver? What is this for me? How can I sit in this space of, you're getting my attention for a reason, and what do I need to deeply understand? what is this for me? How is this for me? And it's all for us. Sometimes we block ourselves off, and then it's like the messengers are trying so many ways to deliver the message, but we're so blocked and we're just guarded, and we're fighting everything, and we don't have to do that. And wherever you are on your journey, just listen to your intuition and trust that what is calling you and what is guiding you is for your highest and best good and the highest good of all. That's really and always, if you have a second guess, if you have, I've told several stories. I was called to Fiji in a dream. I didn't know why. I had no idea why. And I quite literally, I remember getting pulled to the side to customs and saying, he was like, you can't move forward. You don't have anything booked. And I just very what word am I looking for? Assured, you don't understand. I was called here by spirit and I don't know what I need to do. I can't book anything because I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I have to be open to move about. And I just kind of kept explaining it to him. And thankfully, we settled on booking 4 nights at a 10-night stay. And then once we got to that first place, I went to the lady at the desk, Mary, I love you, in Fiji. You were amazing, and you put me exactly where I needed to be, so you know. I said, I trust you, and help me book the next 6 days of our stay. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here, but I do know that I'm here for a purpose. And so it's things like that where they're so beyond, and I'm not saying that you might not have big things that you're being called to do, but it could just be, hey, you hear the inspiration to go hold the door and say something to a person, and you feel uncomfortable doing it, so you don't. And it could be something like, somebody drops the bag breaks at the grocery store, and you feel the inspiration to go help them, but then there's a voice that says, we don't have time for that. I'm saying, listen and take action. Make time for what matters, and you will see how time miraculously forms itself into a new playing field of existence and into a new a new higher harmonics of love and of truth and of blessings. Is there anything else that needs to be spoken today? Just thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Thankful, and thank you for those of you who have donated, who see my mission and who understand at a deeper level, and who want to help me continue this work and this mission and showing up and delivering these transmissions for free. I've said it many times, and if those of you who are watching this and you've heard some of my other messages, toying between the paid platform and still with my website, waiting on that approval to just accept payments there, but not really knowing what to do to move forward to receive payment. I have actually seen where people are wondering how they can support me. And the ways that you can support me are purchasing my artwork. And I say that, or even a commissioned piece, as long as I have free reign to complete the piece. Because what I'm seeing now is all of my pieces need to be in a solo show. So if you are local in the greater Kansas City area, and you have a place that would be perfect for my story, my mission, what I'm teaching, truth. It's just truth and faith and hope and trusting that path with a whole heart, and sometimes it feels like half a heart. I can't lie. But speaking your truth out, and then allowing yourself to be vulnerable in safe spaces, to be revered and loved and honored. And I'm hearing sanctified and blessed, really blessed. And then showing up authentically, shining and encouraging others to do the same. It truly is miraculous the way it works. Other ways that you can support me, donations, really silent donations, angel donations. If you know of anybody who has grants or if you can put me into either schools or teaches classes that are interested in learning the God Goddess energy. And I'm not meaning in a form of where there is a higher playing field. I mean, everybody is equal and we're all here doing this together, but it does take honest truth to remember the divinity, the true God Goddess within, that is the mother and the father, holy matrimony within, to have the Christed light, to have the rebirth within, which is the most painfully beautiful path I have ever walked. And honestly, to think that I would have made it through, to even think that I chose to come here for that path, for this path, and to now be able to talk about it and teach the way through Christ, but also with the feminine, with the wisdom, with the faith. You have to have the faith. Faith without works or faith without action is nothing. You have to have action. You have to be able to take action in those spaces, even though it seems uncomfortable, even though it seems like, what am I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. So yeah, if this, and in anywhere, really anywhere traveling, obviously the expenses would need to be paid for, or we would need to talk about that. But even if you're from another state or something and you're like, man, we really would like to have her here, please reach out. withinbyjen@gmail.com is a way to contact me. And I'm just so ready to teach what has been gifted to me. Like, it's so beautiful. It really is. Other ways you can support. I always put my PayPal and my Venmo below if you would like to be an angel donator or a silent giver. And if you would like to donate, I don't know sometimes, because I don't have a whole lot of people commenting on a lot of my stuff. I understand that that's an uncomfortable space, and being seen in these truthful spaces can be uncomfortable for people. So I try to honor everyone where they are. And so sometimes I don't know if it is good for me to actually point out the people that contact or that reply or respond to anything, or moving forward, the people that do donate, if they want to be seen. And I guess that could be a conversation that I have with each individual, because each individual story is different. And I honor that. So other ways that you can support, please share these. If I have popped up on your page, there is a reason, and please share and like, comment, or just share them with a friend. That there's so many ways that we can get the word out. There's so many ways that we can share these messages and these blessings with others. And I was speaking with a friend the other day. I'll save the full story for another video, but I was just saying it's very important that, one, we honor our ancestors. We honor the lineages that have come before us, that have paved the way for us to be here. And for me, I can see where going back to the beginning of where it all began for my bloodline, and kind of clearing and removing all the debris that was left in pain and in suffering, in the silencing and the slandering, in the separation, and clearing it out and honoring it with love, but also honoring our truth. Our truth is that, yes, we can feel overwhelmed. We can feel like we don't have it figured out. We can feel terrified. But that doesn't mean that we're not equally grateful. It can be both. Both playing fields must be honored in truth and in love. And honoring the path, honoring what our ancestors have done for us, what they have gone through for us to be here, and to be able to share on a platform like these, to speak our truth and to connect all over the world, and to make a difference and make a positive, loving impact in the world with each other. It's an honor. And so I was saying that, please don't discredit your emotion because of somebody else's story. We can honor their story with reverence and honor their pain, honor our own pain, honor our own truth. And it can be both. And that's where the true magic lies is when we don't treat one higher than the other. We treat them both as equal with love. And when we do that, they both rise. They both rise accordingly. And I'm hearing systematically, but but it was a perfect design. It was a perfect design. So yeah, I love you. I'm Jennifer Renee. This is Within by Jen. It is within each and every one of us. It always, always has been. My logo, for those of you who do not know, is I am written in cursive. And so if I put that, you can see the AM. I don't know which side is it's you're reading correctly anyway. And then the I is a cursive I, but then it's put together. So you see the diamond in the center. It's mirrored top to bottom and left to right, for all four corners, and then bringing all of those, merging those together, the unification of the diamond radiance within the heart, within the body, within the mind, radiating that out, being here to be a blessing and living in service to humanity for our highest and best good and the highest good of all, but living in service in abundance and prosperity and wealth, not living in service as enslavement. The old system is done. It is gone. It is no more. And we're here to show and to live by example that living in service can be a blessing. You don't have to live without, and you don't have to suffer in silence and just say you're grateful when deep down you're suffering, and when deep down you know that there's more. And I can speak of that honestly because I lived in that space for a very long time, thinking that to be a good person meant that you just had to not have money and you just had to be grateful for what you had, when you knew that it would be easier if you had a little money to help, or you knew it would be easier if you had help along the way. So we're here to lead by example, and it truly is an honor. So I love you very much. I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day, and I will see you guys in the next video. I will see you all, you beautiful, radiant human beings in the form that you have chosen to be here and radiate in. I love you. Be truthful with yourself. Be honest with yourself. That is where the secrets that are you lie in waiting. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Mwah.